So they're also very informational. They become the nerve center for getting all the information. They also become the disseminator. They can also become the spokesperson. They also sometimes find themselves in a very decisional roles as an entrepreneur, as a disturbance handler, as a negotiator. That there's a whole set of hybrid skills that's needed by today's manager to survive in the business place. And their decision making exists in three forms: the strategic decisions that are ob- long-term objectives, resources, and policies; management control that monitors the effective usage of resources and performance; and operational control that help to perform tasks and read. And they are being on the operational level. They take the strategic perspective and implement them. So decisions of managers, today's manager, can be seen in two perspectives. One, the unstructured decision and the structured decision. The unstructured decisions are non-routine, which comes from experience, has to rely on the experience of the manager, the judgment, its evaluation, insights into the problem definition. So there's no agreed procedure, and this can occur a lot at the operational level, because sometimes the operations change daily, and you need to be able to make a decision at one time concerning an issue. And based on your experience, the person may be able to bring his judgment and evaluate effectively to make a decision. But as you go up the ladder, decisions becomes in the management, to the management level and to the strategic level. Decisions becomes more structured, repetitive, routine, handled using a definite procedure. Or so they are more structured as you get to the executive level, and and at that level too, there's no subjectiveness is taken out and becomes much more of objective, because you have a board. You can have a board that all before decisions are made, due procedure has to be established, and all the board members have to be in agreement. So you cannot make decisions just out of a whim at that level. You may need to be able to you may need to be able to lobby to get people on your side to be able to make certain decisions. Okay. How does these decisions take place among managers, and how does information systems support this decision making? In making decisions in the firms, whether at the operational level, the managerial level, or the strategic level, a manager or the person making a decision or the decision maker has to go through four steps: intelligence, that's collecting information, identify the problem; design, conceive alternative solutions to the problem or even evaluate them; then select among the alternatives that may exist; then put the decision to effect; and then also report on progress of that particular solution that has been taken. Models of decision making. In an organizational place, as we are studying what is an organization, there are different types of decision making. We may look about two of them. There's a rational model where people engage in consistent, rational decision making. So they rank all alternatives, they look at the pros and cons, and then they may evaluate and make a decision based on the one that contributes most to their goal. But as you may know, in different scenarios, especially in this rapid environment, rapid and volatile business environment, you cannot always understand or have all the information to be able to rank alternatives. So sometimes managers are faced with the opportunity or faced with the challenge of making or taking the first viable alternative. Hence, it becomes a little bit difficult to always take the rational perspective. Sometimes you are faced with very few options, and you may just take the immediate viable alternative, so that in future you will find a way of amending it if it goes wrong, or learning from it if it goes right. Then we also have the cognitive style of decision making, which tends to center around the personality of the person making a decision. So you have a systematic decision maker and the intuitive decision maker. The systematic may be part of those, may take into consideration all variables and all alternatives before making the decision. So they'll be very careful, reflective judgment of the issue and evaluation of the issue before a decision is made. Intuitive may go by intuition, how the person feels at that point in time and his belief in that particular, or his judgment or subjective judgment concerning that particular issue. Organizational factors in planning new systems. So when you look at all the decision making processes, the question is that how do organizations, or how can organizations plan information systems more appropriately? In doing so, organizations have to look at different factors that could affect the use and the implementation of information systems in their firms. One being the organizational environment, two, the structure of the organization, three, the organization's culture and politics, the type of organization and its leadership style, the principal interest groups, and the attitudes of the workers, the kind of tax and decisions and process system that the information systems will assist. That means that there needs to have, whoever is implementing or developing the system for the organization need to have an intimate knowledge about organization in order to be able to create a good alignment between the organization and the information system that has been implemented. Model may be defined in different perspectives. A loose concept defines business models as how a company does business or generates value or revenue. Another perspective is a business model enables a firm to define who a customer is. What does a customer value? How do we make money? How do we deliver value to customers at an appropriate cost? It also comprises the combined elements of who, what, when, why, where, how, and how much is involved in providing services and products to the customer. So business models are about value creation, but different definitions tend to emphasize different parts of it. Now, one of the most comprehensive perspectives is by Infor and Tushi, who talk about business models as the method by which a firm builds and uses its resources to offer customers better value than its competitors and to make money doing so. So there are different aspects, meaning that the business model itself is a framework. It's a way in which a firm does its things. Two, is value focused. It's generating value to customers through the use of resources which may be obtained from the environment. It's also profit oriented. That means that the firm has to make money in doing so. And as I said, it's resource based. It draws some resources to generate value. So a business model and strategy, what are the differences? A business model is a concept of strategic management. The business model defines what an organization is about and what it does and how it makes money. The strategy actually articulates how it will be achieved, or how these targets or the objectives of the business model will be achieved. So a business model must be complemented by a strategy that takes into account the competition, the industry forces or the forces in industry, the market environment, the policies, the macroeconomic conditions, and all other factors that may influence the business in carrying out and implementing its strategy. So sometimes these two concepts overlap, but they do differ. The business model emphasizes the target and the logic behind. The strategy stresses the action. So if you are looking in your own firm, one thing you should identify is that your business model may emphasize the target, may define who the customer is, may define how value is to be created. But the action of creating the value will be stipulated or depicted in the strategy of the firm. So there are kind of an amount of 8 functional elements of a business model from Infor and Tushi's explanation. The type of value the firm offers to its customers, the type of customers the firm wants to create that value for,